On the 25th of August 1944, Paris woke up free. But that freedom had not come from outside. For a week, the city had been freeing itself. It began on the 15th of August with a strike by the Paris police. On the 19th, the striking policemen seized the police headquarters. The uprising spread to town halls, ministries, and newspapers. The paving stones came out of the streets, more than 600 barricades cut the city into pieces. The insurgents had very few weapons, so they took the enemy's. The Allied plan, however, was to bypass Paris. A street battle would cost too many lives, and feeding 2.5 million people would slow the advance. It was a Frenchman, General Leclerc, backed by de Gaulle, who forced the decision. His 2nd Armored Division was ordered to race for the capital. On the evening of August the 24th, a vanguard slipped in through the Porte d'Italie. The first armored vehicles to reach the city hall bore strange names for a French division: Guadalajara, Teruel, Madrid. They were the men of La Nueve, a company of Spanish Republicans who had been fighting fascism since 1936. That night, the bells of Notre Dame rang for the first time in 4 years. The next day the division entered Paris alongside American troops. The fighting lasted all day. Late in the afternoon, von Choltitz, the German military governor, signed the surrender at Montparnasse station. Hitler had ordered him to leave the enemy nothing but a field of ruins, bridges mined, monuments rigged for destruction. The order was never carried out. The clear head of a soldier who knew the war was lost, or a legend he polished himself after the fact. Historians still argue. The bridges, for their part, are still standing. That same evening, at the City Hall, de Gaulle spoke the most famous words of his life: Paris outraged, Paris broken, Paris martyred, but Paris liberated. The next day he walked down the Champs Elysees on foot, through an immense crowd. The week cost hundreds of lives: insurgents, Leclerc soldiers, civilians caught in the fighting. As for the Spaniards of La Nueve, first into the city, it took until 2015 for a garden at the City Hall to finally bear their name.